What's going on? I'll be Fitness Gaming, and you've seen the title of the video. You know why you're here. Domain Zoo, baby. Alright, so let's get started here. Let's get serious. Remand, 2 Brawlers, Lightning Bolt. On the draw. This seems good. We got some early interaction. We cannot hit Domain. How do we hit Domain from here? We need a blue and we need a red. So we may actually have to get a Steam Vents. Unless we draw land. Alright. So we're going to grab a Steam Vents with this. I might be switching to Triomes in the deck. I know that it's optimal with the... So you can play Dromoka's command, but I do feel like the Xander Lounge and the other one were just better overall. I could be wrong though. I'll have to play test them. Alright. So now we go Brawler. Now we have, if we can untap here, we're going to be able to hold up. We're going to be able to play a Brawler and hold up Stubborn Denial. Or we can hold up Remand and Leyline Binding. So we're in a pretty good spot. For a basic land review, you may discard a card. When you do, return target permanent. Okay, so we probably want to, we can't Leyline Binding in that. So actually what we can do is do this and then Binding. This out of the way. That can get them this priest back. You know, and then that's not good. So we have Ragavan. If we can draw into Domain, what we have, we draw another land, we could play like another Brawler and Ragavan. Obviously it depends what they do here. Chances are, yeah, we're not going to be able to interact with it. That's what I'm saying. Just sticking to this plan here. I mean, we could draw another Leyline. You may cast an instant sorcery spell with mana from your target player mills 4 cards. Exile. Copy it. Okay, I don't really see anything. Draw 2 cards and discard a card unless there are 5 or more mana values among them. You got 4. Not too familiar with like playing against these combination of cards and some of these cards, so but so far from what I'm reading, I don't really see anything that we're in danger right now, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past. Because Modern is wild, brother. Alright, so we're just going to have to continue to grind. I think, I'm just wondering, like, if they don't block, do we play another Brawler or leave Remand up? Remand draws us a card and can... You know what? Let's play another Brawler. Because if we leave Remand up, let's say, and they're start casting inexpensive spells like they've been doing, we're going to remand them, we're going to draw. But then they're going to be able to cast it again, and sure. But then, you know, unless we draw like a bolt or something, or they, you know, and they don't block, we won't be able to kill them next turn. So then they're just going to have another turn to draw into something and be able to do something else. Oh boy. So they don't have black mana for this. Yet. Oh boy. Nope. Sacrifice a creature. Discard a card. I guess Stubborn Denial. So now we're in trouble. Yeah. I had a feeling this guy was, yeah. Fortunately, there was nothing else we could do. We killed him in the beginning of the game, and then he came back. It's an Archon combo deck. We can use Faerie Macabre from the sideboard. Oh boy. Oh boy! He's just... The opponent was saving all the good stuff for us. He wasn't, you know, he was holding back. So the plan was to keep... We should have kept Remand up, but, you know, whatever. There was no way for us to know. Okay. That gives us Domain. We have to attack here. What is this? Until end of turn, target creature gains... Oh yeah, I see. So we could still win from this position, assuming they don't have any counter magic. Oh no, they're gonna gain life, right? I was gonna say we can. Oh, we don't have an. Oh, we have another, right? If we draw into a Tribal Flames, Ragavan Tribal Flames, that's 7 damage. So that's not gonna be enough. I want to turn 2 clock. So yeah, I don't see unless we get a Leyline Binding. Leyline Binding can get us out of this mess. So we're gonna discard the Brawler here because it's gonna be too slow. Leyline Binding. Okay, so now we're pretty much dead, right? Yeah. Well, let's just see what we draw. So the only, I mean, we could have played Ragavan if this didn't happen, assuming they didn't have a counterspell as well. Draw into a binding, Ragavan, and continue playing, but... Alright, so let's see what we bring in here. Wheeling Sun and Moon is good. Remand is, I mean, it's decent. It could be good in certain situations, but the thing about Remand is, unless we're going to kill them in the next turn, I mean, we're on the play, so that could be something, but I feel like this slows them down a lot more. I could be wrong, though. Maybe we leave the Remands in since we're on the play. You know what? I think what we do is bring in the Macabre. I think that's better. That's way better. Dromoka's Command. Maybe we can play like the Remand over the Dromoka's Command. That might be better. We're gonna... Okay, I mean, this is not bad. I mean, we got 2 of our 3 3 of the worst lands, but we can make it work. Hopefully they don't have any interaction with us here, and then we're able to get in with the Nacatl and the Ragavan. And we got the Faerie Macabre, which is good. It's going to give us some protection. If they play the priest, I don't think we kill the priest. Sacrifice, counter target, non-creature spell. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we... and I'm just thinking ahead of time. If they play the priest, do we kill the priest? And I don't think we do. I think we need blue-red here. I'm going to shock this in. Because they need to discard the Archon somehow, and if we can counter the discard spell, we should be fine. Alright, so I think now we just do this. And then next turn, we can win the game. We had a pretty aggressive start. Which, you know, it happens. This is why you play Zoo, right? Like, when you're on the play and you have decent hands, like, it's really... You just put your opponent on the back foot the whole game with a little bit of disruption, and it gets you there. But, I mean, I'm not saying we're going to get there. I'm just saying, like, they're in a pretty tough spot. That works. Missing a land drop for them here can be pretty brutal, but no. So we can deal 9. Next turn puts them at 2, so if we draw a bolt, we can also win. Destroy target artifact. Oh my goodness. They just drew all the fun cards, didn't they? Alright, so there goes our plan. So let's go ahead and just... Let's leave the blue up. At least try to give the illusion that we have some type of counter magic. So we went from like winning this game to like now and being pretty much equal. Non-creature spells you control can't be countered from anywhere else. Exile it instead. Question is, I think we need to take this, and it's because if we draw a Ragavan, you know, we need to get in. So now they're at 5, which is good for us because now we can just win with a Tribal Flames. Yep. Keep in mind we can't get Jegantha because we do have a double colored spell in our deck. If anybody's wondering why we're not going to do anything here other than the attack. So now we have a lot of cards that can just win the game. Any permanents here that we're afraid of? I don't see any. Alright, so cool. They didn't get to see our Faerie Macabre, so we're going to replace this with the Remand here. And I think this is good. Yeah, so that game was a lot closer than it should have been, I feel. I mean, we had a pretty good start. We were on the play. But at the same time, when you're going against combo decks or decks that are trying to put together a combination of cards to get a huge advantage, when they sideboard, it dilutes that plan. So sometimes they draw all their sideboard cards, and it may seem like they're just drawing all their sideboard cards, and you're like, oh man. But if they're not blowout cards, and you're playing an aggressive deck, and they're playing a deck like that relies on a combination of cards, you could have an advantage actually. If they're drawing all their sideboard cards that are not blowouts. Now, if you draw like a Blood Moon, then we're in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Not that these guys play it, but you know, that's one of those cards that an early Blood Moon, and it's the only real card in your hand. Like it can buy you enough time to win. All right, so we're gonna just stick to our plan here, and that is go with the Kavu. Kavu's decent in this. I mean, Kavu's really good because once they put the Archon in the yard, if this lives, they have to go for it that turn. Because we can just take it. So it does put them in that situation where like they can't tap out to put stuff in their yard, because if it does land in there, there's no way for them to reanimate it that same turn. They can lose it to this. They can also hit 2 in the yard, and then it doesn't matter. Okay. We need a land. Okay. Tribal Flame is not the worst. I definitely want another land because I want to be able to cast our Kavus and have Stubborn Denial up. We can get in with Kavu at least a couple times. Well, not anymore, but so they're going to take a card, and then they're going to most likely reanimate this. I'm not sure we're going to Leyline Binding. I mean, they could just take the Leyline. You know, I don't even know what they would take here. It just depends on what they have in their hand, right? Like, this is going to get in for 5, and we got another 10 points of damage here. And we have Stubborn Denial, so like if we draw another land, they're in big trouble because we're able to hold up Stubborn Denial pretty much time while we get it. Yeah. So they take the Kavu. Okay, so they're going to take something else. And then they're going to be able to do it again next turn. I mean, we could Stubborn Denial. We really need another land. Or we could Leyline Binding it. I think, yeah, well, they could take that. Well, let's see what they take. Either way, we have these two to protect us. We need this Kavu to connect it. If it can connect twice. Okay, never mind. They're taking that. Okay, Bolt. Not a bad card. Not a bad card. I think actually... Let's see if they blink. Okay, perfect. We're going to go ahead and just remove it from the yard. Okay, so yeah, I mean they would need a lot of cards here to be able to pull it off. Even if they somehow pulled off an Archon, we sacked the Nacatl. They passed turn. We're gonna take it. Oh, we're gonna take it and then continue our onslaught. But you know, that's how you won that matchup. We didn't get to use Faerie Macabre, but if you can see in that game, just having this card in our hand. Was going to make it very, very hard for them to combo off or for them to really do anything out of their yard. Like I said, I really like this card over Rest in Peace. Rest in Peace can hose certain decks, but I think a lot of the decks now in Modern that are graveyard heavy rely a lot on certain cards, and Faerie Macabre being a free card that cannot be countered, and you know, it's just this interaction that you can just take anything of importance from their yard. I mean, you can shrink things, you can take certain creatures out. I think it's a very good card, especially in a deck like Zoo, right? Because at the end of the day, what this deck is trying to accomplish, it's trying to cast its creatures, sometimes to a turn, and then it's trying to sit back and protect them and control the board with Stubborn Denials, Remand, and removal spells. And this helps you out because you're able to sit back, play your free spells. And, you know, Modern has become a very, very fast, aggressive format where there's a lot of free spells and a lot of them are really good. And, you know, you don't want to, I don't like spending my turn, you know, casting these. Wheel of Sun and Moon is really good if you're on the play against mill and heavy graveyard decks like Dredge and stuff. But an Archon deck, I mean, it could help if you land it, but I'd rather keep up the Faerie Macabre, so I'm going to continue testing that out. You guys let me know what you guys think. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, comment at the bottom. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. I post every day. Domain Zoo, all Nightfall, all that good stuff. All the stuff that you love to watch that brings you here. If I had any misplays, anything I could have done differently, please comment at the bottom. Let me know. We're here to learn together. And thank you, my friends, for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel, and peace out.